The Sega CD. Known as the Mega CD outside of the US, it was the first system that I remember that actually implemented a CD-ROM. And like any 90s company, Sega raped and pillaged every commercial break of every kid's show to make friggin' sure you knew that their product was the best. I mean, seriously, what would you do if you were an 8-year-old dude and saw this between the breaks of Power Rangers? I mean, yeah, you would scream bloody murder until you got one. Yeah. Never worked for me, though. All I got was a garden to weed. Well, I just knew all the cool kids were on ecstasy playing Sonic CD and Echo the Dolphin. Stupid plants. The games were so awesome on the Genesis. I mean, imagine how much more awesome they would be with better music and actual videos. Right. Fast forward 16 or so years, and I was finally able to give in to the propaganda and get myself a Sega CD. So, is the device actually worth it to a cheap casual collector? I guess we'll find out. Alright, now first let's look at the types of American Sega CD systems that exist. There's the less common first model, which features a front-loading CD tray, and then there's the most common second model, which has a top-loading CD drive, like the Sega Saturn or the PS1. And there's also a system called the Sega/JVC XI, I don't really know. It's also known as the Wonder Mega outside of the US, and it was a combination of the Sega CD and the Genesis, along with some enhanced sound capabilities from JVC. Not really for kids. And then there was also the Sega Genesis CD-X, which is known as the Multi-Mega outside of the US, and as the Genesis and the Sega CD together, in a size meant to be portable. I mean, it even had a headphone jack with batteries. Crazy. I got my Model 2 system off eBay for about $25. And that seems to be the average price. Of course, you will also need a Model 1 or a Model 2 Genesis to go along with it, so look at about $45 for a complete system with no games. And make sure the Sega CD also comes with the AC adapters, and yes, there are two, and these metal plates to lock the Genesis into the system. Not necessary, but it'd be nice. Also, it'd be great if it came with this little black slab of plastic, especially if you have the Genesis 1, so it doesn't kind of hang off the edge like this here. Yeah, that, looks better. Well, after I received it and commenced with the usual post-auction ritual of cleaning out the decade-old dust and what appears to be grape jelly, I hooked the beast up. Thankfully, it's really not that hard to hook up. All you really need to do is slide the Genesis in, and then hook up your RCA or RF Genesis cable to your TV, and that's really it. Pretty much just turn the thing on. Now once you do, you're kind of greeted with this. Yeah, this music is the first sign of the apocalypse, I swear. I mean, talk about being slightly ominous. Oh well, it's kind of cool. The first game I'm going to try is definitely going to be Chuck Rock 2 Son of Chuck. Cool little logo. Oh, sweet. It's got an introduction cartoon. There you go. I mean, this is one of my favorite platformers on the Genesis too. And just everything, the controls, the graphics, the music, the... Wait, what the crap? The music. Okay. That's fine. Let's get into the game. Wait. Okay, now that's different too. What the balls? Alright, now the sound effects too? Alright, this is just wrong. Okay, let's go back and compare the Genesis and the Sega CD version. Right. This is on the Genesis. The graphics are the same, really, but the sound is almost totally redone. I mean, it's not bad, but they aren't even similar. And this is not a good first impression. I mean, imagine taking Sonic 3 and replacing the music with, like, cheesy Japanese pop music. Ah, crap. Yeah, that's exactly what they did with Sonic CD. Now, the good thing, though, is this game is amazing, really. Easily the last great Sonic game, and it gets trippy pretty often, too. It's good if you're on medication. Yeah, let's try something else. Here we go, freaking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, I remember seeing this game all hyped up. I couldn't believe there was a game that looked just like the TV show. This had to be amazing, right? And, well, the video capabilities of the system seem to be a bit less than hoped for. I mean, I guess that's kind of what you get for being as old as it is. But what the heck is this, though? I'm pressing the buttons it tells me to, and it's not changing anything, really, except that bar at the bottom of the screen. I wonder what happens when I just stop pressing stuff. Yeah, I mean, Rita just kind of sends my Zords to hell. That's kind of cool. But that's it. That's really all you can do to make anything happen in this game other than what it wants you to see. It's pretty much the easiest game of Simon ever made. And on top of that, the whole game lasts like 20 minutes. Well, thankfully not all the games are crap. Just most of them. The few notable mentions, of course, are Heart of the Alien, Pitfall, The Mayan Adventure, Earthworm Jim, Android Assault, Echo the Dolphin. But really, not one of these has anything more to offer than what the Genesis could do, other than some trivial video extras and a modified soundtrack. That's just lame. And now there's a few others, like Silpede, Final Fight, Dragon's Lair, maybe some of the light-gun games like Lethal Enforcers that made some decent use of the Sega CD, but this hardly makes it a great system. We have the couple hundred games-ish for the system. Maybe 15 I would consider buying, even nowadays. I mean, thankfully the thing is pretty cheap, and most of the games are only about $5 to $10 for crappy condition or something, but the good thing about having it in 2008 is the ability to back up games and play them on your Sega CD. There's no copy protection at all, so you can literally just burn them with Nero or whatever and stick them in there and play it. And for that reason alone is about the only thing that I could recommend this system for, other than just simply collecting. Now, of course, you can play them almost exactly the same on an emulator like Gens Plus or something, but you're going to need to find a BIOS, it's not that hard, and then you're going to have to find the ISOs of the games, which are like 400 something megs each, which isn't that hard either, but, you know, whatever, it's a hassle and all that crap. And plus, you're going to have to end up burning the games anyway, because image drives such as Daemon Tools don't support the CD audio. So there's not going to be any music in most of the games, which, considering some of the soundtrack, isn't all that bad. Overall, the Sega CD was a decent idea, but it was very poorly executed, especially with the Sega Saturn coming out so soon afterwards. If you just have a Genesis, you can forget about this. You're not missing much.